Okay, I want you to imagine this. It's day one for you on a brand new job. You're excited, you're nervous, you're all the emotions in between, and you're wondering if you've made the right decision. You show up for work, or maybe you log on for work, and everybody sort of seems surprised that you're here. There doesn't seem to be a plan. You spend most of the day filling out HR paperwork or completing online, learning modules, and you head home feeling a little bit uninspired, underwhelmed, and blah, right? My friends, this is the kind of scenario that keeps me up at night. And if you're a leader, it should be something that concerns you too, because the truth is we only get one shot at that day one experience. It's so important to future engagement and retention. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 of my favorite ways that you can build a powerful day one experience that gets your new hires pumped about what's to come. Hi there, welcome to People Ops Problems. I'm Leanne Lagasse, and today we're talking all about the first day experience for our new hires. So first, the bad news. According to the Gallup organization, only 1 in 10 of our employees statistically would agree with the statement, "My employer does a good job onboarding." That's just 10%. So that means that in most of our organizations, a lot of the tasks and activities and interactions that we're asking new hires to go through for that day one experience are somehow really missing the mark. So if we want to be organizations who build powerful experiences, we've got to think critically about the messages that we're sending during onboarding, especially during that critical day one experience. So here's sort of the 30,000-foot view of the messages that we should be sending on day one. So I want you to think about your day one experience as I'm talking through this content today. Does everything that you're doing align with at least one of these messages that you should be sending to employees? So here they are. These are the 4 messages that you want to be sending to new hires with every single thing that you do on day one. Number 1 is we've been expecting you, right? We knew you were coming. We had a plan. Number 2, we are pumped you are here. And not just we're pumped that this position is filled, right? But we are pumped that you as a unique individual are here. Number 3, this is a special place and we do really important work here, right? This is a place where we think about big vision, mission, and values. And then the 4th message that you really want to send on day one is, and continuing, is you have a future here, right? That we care about your growth, your development, your career trajectory. So those are the 4 kind of 30,000-foot view messages that you want to send on day one. So what are some practical ways that you can send messages like that? Let's jump in. Here's my 3 favorite ways. Okay, so the first way a powerful day one experience is actually the work you're going to do before day one ever happens. And that is to reduce the uncertainty and increase the predictability before day one. So if you think about, if you take the perspective of a new employee, put yourself in their shoes, you're likely feeling uncertainty about new roles and responsibilities, new people and relationships, and also new physical or digital spaces that you're going to be occupying. So you probably have a lot of questions. Now, most leaders who are sort of responsible for the onboarding process are usually very open-handed about, let me know what questions you have, right? But you've got to put yourself in the shoes of that new hire. Every new question that they ask can feel like an imposition that they're making. Now, you may not feel like that's the case, but they often do. So the best organizations with respect to their pre-boarding close the loop when the employee doesn't even have to ask, right? You're closing the loop, you're increasing predictability and decreasing uncertainty. So this is simple. This may look like sending some pre-recorded messages before day one, letting employees know who they'll be meeting, right? How to access the building, where to park or not park, right? What we're gonna do for lunch on day one, what are our typical rhythms and norms in the organization, so what you need to bring kind of for your office setup. Hey, here's a picture of what your office looks like. Here's a picture of the individuals that you're gonna meet when you first arrive, right? Here's all the information you need to know what to expect logistically on day one. And then also, here's kind of an agenda for what we're going to be doing on day one. And if you can show them that you have a plan, you're really halfway there with respect to the day one experience. So this first one is all about you having a plan and then communicating the plan to reduce some of the uncertainty that your new hires are feeling before day one ever happens. All right, the second way that you can create a powerful day one experience is by dialing up your individualization and customization. So the more that you can do on day one to show this new hire that you're not just excited the position is filled, but you're excited they are filling the position, you are going to see so many positive outcomes from that type of message being sent to employees. So you're going to want to individualize. Here are a couple of my favorite ways that you can do that don't cost a lot of money, right? The first thing you can do is in your internal communication, whether it's Slack or Teams or some other intranet, any other kind of internal communication you have, you can highlight this new hire on day one. Tell everybody what you're so excited about. Share information about them that's true only about them. Go beyond just letting everybody know that this is Sarah and she's going to be filling, this accountant role. Who is Sarah? What's interesting about Sarah? What makes her different? Why are we so pumped that she is joining this organization and going to be contributing to our overall vision and mission and values? You can also post sort of public-facing messages, and that can be another really powerful way to show new hires that you're so pumped that they're there. So you may post a social media post that has their image and a couple of cool facts about what they're bringing to your organization, about their background, their experiences, their talents, their strengths, right? That sends a message to your new hire that you value them as a unique individual. Another thing you can do to individualize is to reaffirm why you hired them specifically. So this may be a conversation that the people manager has with the individual or that the team has with the individual, where you're able to say, let's look at this job description where you're going to be operating every day, and let's show you the reasons why we feel like you are such a good fit. You may not feel like that's necessary or important because they're obviously the person that you selected for the job, but you've got to remember those new hires come in feeling heightened levels of uncertainty about, am I cut out for this? Am I going to belong here? Will everybody like me? So the more you can do to send those individualization messages, the better. And one last thing that you can do on individualization, which is one of my favorite, it does require a little bit of resources, but usually not much. And that is maybe during the interview process or the application process, you're collecting information about some of the new hires' favorite things. And so maybe it's their favorite coffee drink, right? Maybe it's their favorite candy bar or, road trip snack, or maybe it's their favorite, office supplies, whatever it is. Imagine a scenario where they show up for day one and you have their favorite coffee sitting on their new desk, or you've put together a little package with some of their favorite things that they told you during the interview process are really significant to them. You've got their favorite office supplies set up for them. It's a small thing that has major impact. It's not just about the money that you spend on that pack of M&Ms or that, latte. It's more about them hearing from you, wow, they paid attention to the things that matter to me, and they want to show me that they remember that, right, about me. So those are powerful ways, often, small gestures, small resource, allotment needed, but major impact. All right, and the third way that you can build a really powerful day one experience is to give the new hire a chance to upload information instead of just being the recipient of downloaded information. So a lot of times, we put our new hires in a situation on day one where they are just drinking from a fire hydrant. It's so much information, it's coming at them so quickly. There's no way they're going to be able to retain all of that information anyway. They often leave feeling overwhelmed and a little bit stressed about all the information that they acquired. So it's so important that you create spaces throughout that day one experience where employees can upload, where they get to feel like they're contributing or they're communicating. So think about your day one experience. And of course, this will vary depending on the role and the department and sort of your organization, but create some opportunities for upward communication to flow. Here are a couple of quick ideas for that. Number one, I love when organizations create space and margin for employees to communicate a little bit about themselves and their unique identity. So that can look a lot of different ways. My favorite is to ask the employee, maybe it's just in a one-on-one or it's in a group setting, but to reflect on their unique talents and strengths and experiences, and to identify parts of the job that they're the most excited about because it really aligns with their talents and strengths and their background. Giving them space to say, hey, I think I'll be able to really contribute something here and here and here because of what comes naturally to me, or my experiences can go a really, really long way. Asking them even some fun questions about, how they might be able to, help team members out of a jam because of the unique strengths they have. There's so many things that you can do to give them a space to be reminded that, oh yeah, I do bring something valuable to the organization, and here's how I think I'm going to contribute. Another way you can do this is to ask employees to submit some feedback to you as early as day one about, how they're experiencing your culture and your organization. So maybe you send them a survey, halfway through the day and say, hey, what's going well? What questions do you have? Where do we need to close the loop? Because what that does, in addition to getting you some good data, is it also communicates to them that you value the contributions they're going to make even on day one. So you got to figure out a way on day one to give them a chance to upload instead of just being the recipient of downloaded information. It's so important to them feeling like they have some agency and some autonomy and some independence, if you will, on that first day on the job. So there you have it. Those are my 3 favorite ways that you can build a powerful day one experience that sends the messages that employees crave on their very first day on the job. So as always, thank you for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all of the things, and I'll see you next time.